Is Seasons the greatest expansion pack for The Sims 4? Is this the best pack for gameplay, build buy mode, and create a sim? Or is The Sims 4 just so bad that no expansion pack can save it? If you're new here, I am Satch on Sims, and today we are talking about the best pack for The Sims 4 in 2021. A lot of people have been talking about this pack ever since it came out, and the question on everybody's lips is Seasons the best expansion pack for The Sims 4? And here is my answer: yes, but also no. Everyone is talking about Seasons because of how beautiful it makes your worlds. It takes a monotonous, endless summer of the Sims 4 worlds and actually gives them some life. And generally, just providing your game with a full breadth of new gameplay that, unlike other expansion packs, doesn't have a specific gameplay theme, but more so just improves the overall quality of the game. The fact that this pack is so broad is why it's so popular among the Sims community. But with that being said, I still don't think it's the best pack for the Sims 4 in 2021, and here is why. Since the release of The Sims 4 Cottage Living, the calendar, which was originally a feature exclusive to Seasons, has now been brought to the base game, and that's a big problem for the Seasons pack. The calendar system, which allows you to set things like festivals, holiday traditions, and birthdays, etc., was the key selling point of this pack. Almost every single review video about The Sims 4 Seasons was raving and ranting about how great this calendar system was. But with it now being base game, it's not really that special anymore. Now, I'm sure for a lot of people, it's not just the calendar system which makes the Seasons pack a really great pack to play with, but also the weather system, which allows your Sims to experience basically spring, summer, autumn, winter, as well as like weather-related events and dynamic weather and seasonal activities and stuff like that. But despite being such a popular feature of the Seasons pack, I do feel like the weather aspect of it has come under a lot of scrutiny under the Sims community, and that is because weather should basically be base game. I, for one, am not a capitalist, and I do not believe in capitalizing on weather. It's a perfectly natural part of daily life, and there is absolutely no reason to upsell a perfectly normal part of daily life in a daily life simulation game, especially seeing that the Seasons pack literally costs more than the base game does. I know there are so many people who advocate for having weather as a separate standalone pack, and in fact, it's not just EA and the Sims team who are basically capitalizing on weather. So many other simulation games do this. I know 2 Point Hospital do this, City Skylines does this, like Zoo Tycoon. All of these simulation games have at some point tried to capitalize on weather. So I'm not specifically trying to blame EA for being a little bit shady here. I'm also just blaming the entire gaming industry, especially the simulation gaming industry in general. And if we take other packs into consideration, like Snowy Escape, say whatever you want about this pack, but at the end of the day, it took snow and it made it fun. It gave us snow-related activities. You could go skiing, you could go snowboarding and mountain climbing. Island Paradise is basically a whole pack about summer, living in a nice sunny island, making it fun. Cottage Living allows you to live out your British garden cottage fantasy, and you know, all that farming cottagey life is all surrounded around spring flowers blooming, all that kind of stuff. Even Eco Lifestyle gives us a fun little twist on weather by giving us pollution and smog to deal with. What I'm basically saying here is that we do not need a Seasons pack to give us weather. We can have weather introduced into the game in so many other different ways. What I'm basically saying here is we can have weather being base game, but still have weather related packs to enhance those weather situations and make them more fun. And with all this said, it goes to show that the Sims team is more than capable of giving us weather related activities in more focused packs that can offer such a greater depth of gameplay, as opposed to just a generic blanket of gameplay across the entire game, which is why I question whether the Seasons pack is actually the best expansion pack for The Sims 4 or not. So let's say The Sims 4 base game was released with weather and Seasons in the base game. What packs would I actually recommend to you to buy? Of course, every Sims player is different and has different preferences, but I believe that these are the packs which provide the broadest range of fun and playability for all Simmers. Starting off at number 1, we've got the City Living pack. I genuinely love it when there's a local festival being held which your Sims have the opportunity to enjoy, and how easily it is to meet new Sims. Not only that, the build buy mode is incredible. In fact, it is the best build buy catalogue I've ever seen for any Sims game, let alone The Sims 4 for that matter. The clothing and style options for the game are also the most diverse and stylish I think I've ever seen in any Sims pack too. Not only that, there is just so much diversity in gameplay. Whether you want to be an underground artist living in the arts quarter of the city, fashion designer or fashion photographer living in the fashion quarter of the city. We even have like traditional Sim style careers where you can be a politician, a food critic, and you can work in social media. As a person from a relatively small countryside town, I love the idea of living in this big city. Granted, the apartments in city living can be a little bit difficult for builders to work with if you do enjoy building. They still make for some really great fun gameplay. One of the biggest downfalls for The Sims 4 is its lack of diverse gameplay for all different age groups. And in a weird way, the world of San Myshuno has always been the world where I love starting families in The Sims 4. Although city living doesn't really come with any great gameplay for kids, I just find it so fun, like raising a little kid in the middle of the city and enjoying a different kind of childhood other than the usual standard white picket fence childhood. Yes, I am looking at you, Willow Creek. I just feel like city living breeds a brand new quality of life that we haven't seen in any other Sims 4 pack before. Second on the list is Get to Work. Now, I know this pack has faced a lot of controversy and criticism over its lifetime, and rightfully so. As the first expansion pack ever released for The Sims 4, it didn't really have a backbone to stand on, and as a result, a lot of the features seem a little underdeveloped compared to newer packs. Despite all this, Get to Work is one of the packs that I find myself going to again and again and again and again and again. Mostly because it actually gives your Sims something to do. It gives the game a little bit of challenge, which I like. Before Get to Work came about, there was literally nothing to do in your Sims' day other than to fill up their needs, have them go to work, speed up time, wait for them to come home, fill up their needs again, and just rinse and repeat every single day, and it got a little bit boring and stale. I think that is one of the main reasons why everybody hated the Sims 4 base game when it first came out. With Get to Work, they actually brought in active careers which allow your Sim to be a doctor, a scientist, or a detective. Granted, there are only 3 active careers introduced. My favourite part of the pack by far is the retailing system, allowing you to open and run your own shop. This is something that was first introduced with the Sims 2 Open for Business, which is by far my favourite Sims pack ever of any Sims game so far. I love it so much, so I'm so happy they brought it back for The Sims 4. It basically gives you the ability to open a shop and buy and sell practically anything you like in game, whether it's something that you've crafted yourself and want to sell, or something that you're just reselling for profit. This pack is so diverse and has gameplay implications that can be used across all of the other packs. You can have a Sim that loves finding artifacts in a world like Salvadorada in Jungle Adventures, or bringing souvenirs home from the Japanese-inspired worlds of Snowy Escape to sell it all in a shop that you have just opened. It's for that reason that I always continue to use this pack every single time I start a new save file in The Sims 4. But just as a disclaimer, The Sims 4 Get to Work has the worst build buy mode and create a sim mode stuff I have seen from a Sims pack, period. Do not get this pack if you only build or if you only do create a sim, because it is terrible. It is only there for the fun gameplay. And before we get into my favourite pack for The Sims 4, first let's take a look at some honourable mentions. Eco Lifestyle, which gives your Sims to play as an eco-friendly environmentalist or a CO2 chugging supervillain. I absolutely love the ability to set up community grounds, which can be turned into a community garden or a community market. I just find it takes a fresh take on life simulation for those who are looking to shake up their game a little bit. Vampires, although not actually an expansion pack as per se, this pack adds so much depth and interesting gameplay that I haven't seen for a long time in the Sims franchise. If you are into playing as occult Sims, vampires are by far the most detailed and in-depth occults I've ever seen in any Sims game so far. And Discover University, which adds literally a whole new chapter to any Sims life, further extending and enhancing gameplay. This pack is especially great for those who like legacy gameplay too. So with the honourable mentions out of the way, let's look at what I think is the best expansion pack for The Sims 4 in 2021, in my opinion. So last up, we have got Journey to Batuu. That was a joke. What my favourite pack for The Sims 4 is Get Together. Fundamentally, this pack just has it all. In fact, I made a whole video before why it's my favourite pack, which I will link in the description below, so make sure to check that video out after watching this one. Fundamentally, this pack just has it all. It has a huge diverse world which can be enjoyed in so many different ways, and by huge, I literally mean huge, as there are 27 lots. Not only is this world huge, there is so much stuff you can do. This pack brought in clubs, which allows your Sims to form literally any club type, which are being updated constantly constantly for every new pack that comes out. You can be a DJ and go to nightclubs, live on an island, even set up your own cafe. Unfortunately, this pack is always at the bottom of everybody's list, and I totally understand why, because this pack doesn't really add anything like that special. It's more so just like a base game overhaul in my opinion, adding just some really great things to the build buy catalogue if you like building. I'm not gonna lie, Create a Sim wasn't the best, but it's alright. But it just has some small yet impactful changes to the game, which makes it really, really fun. Anyway, I hope this list has helped you decide what packs that you want to buy for The Sims 4 in 2021 and onwards. And as always, let me know in the comment section below what your favourite expansion pack is for The Sims 4, because I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, see you next time.